Today's episode of TNC Movie Nights is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way to monetize your podcast. They help by giving podcasters just like us a flat rate for ad space, so you always know what you're going to get when you have an ad presented by Podgo. You can apply today and be immediately connected to advertisers that will fit your audience. Just go to podgo.co, that's Podgo.co, and when you go there, there's a little box that says, "How did you hear about Podgo?" Make sure you let them know the movie night sent you.
This is TNC Movie Nights, back again with special guests. Today, in honor of the week that it is going to be in Valentine's Day, we're going to be talking about rom-coms. Who better to talk about rom-coms with than our significant others? But before we do a deep dive into that, Brandon, how was your week?
I'm doing well. I, just Pokemon like normal. Well, we're not going to go into it. But just had a good weekend, and my significant other is here, Alex. Madison. That's right. Yeah. Sorry, I get confused. It's been 10 years with Alex. It's been a year with Madison. It's actually been a year with Madison 1 week ago, like today, I think.
Oh, congratulations, guys! That's awesome.
Yeah. Funny story to that though. We completely forgot, both of us. We only remembered because I was leaving the house at 10:50 at night to go get food because I was really hungry. I'm walking out. My mom tells me, "Hey, happy anniversary, by the way." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, well, "You and Madison." And I was like, "No, it's tomorrow." It's tomorrow because I was literally I was writing something for Madison like to send her at midnight to be like happy anniversary, and I'm like, "No, Mom, it's tomorrow." She's like, "No, it's the second today. It's the because I asked her out on the what is it, the
Super Bowl?
Well, no, the Pandia thing, like 02022020. Like I don't know. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, that's cute.
Thanks. And it was also the Super Bowl. And I looked and I'm like, "Oh my God, no, it's today." And I call Madison. It's 10:59. I'm like, "Hey babe, so it's
sleeping."
Yeah, and I'm like, "Hey, so it's 10:50 at night. Happy anniversary." And she's like, "Yeah, it's
like,
tomorrow."
"Not yet.
Yeah,
Tomorrow."
I'm like, "Why are you telling me now? Like we have another hour." I'm like, "Look at the calendar. What day is it?" And it was just hilarious. So we both completely forgot. It was just funny because that typical.
Also, your mother remembered. How did she remember and we didn't?
I know. Well, and the big thing was like over the weekend before, like we already celebrated. We talked about it all week. Like, oh yeah, next Tuesday's our anniversary. So like we knew. It wasn't like it just passed and we just didn't think about it. It's just we already celebrated, and it was just funny that both of us forgot instead of one of those typical like relationship things of like one person forgot. It's like, I can't believe you forgot, but it was just hilarious. So to go ahead and introduce Madison after that little segue for us. Madison, of course, we like to we like to always introduce our new guests with their top 5 favorite movies. I know you did prepare, so what are your top 5 favorite movies?
I have a little list. My favorite movie of all time is Inglourious Bastards. Not a whole lot of people's favorite movies. I love it. I also have on here Swiss Army Man with Daniel Radcliffe.
See that?
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
We want to see it, man.
It's on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, we saw it and then we added it to the list, and then it's one of those things where every time we're like, "Oh, we could watch that." No, I really want to watch that. We'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's one that you kind of have to like sit down and
yeah, you definitely do.
Pay attention to. Knives Out. I also have on here.
Movie.
Oh my gosh, I actually watched it for the first time with Brandon, and he had already seen it, and so I sat there afterwards and I was like, "That movie was incredible," and he was like, "I know."
So good.
Oh, I loved it. Another one on here is Spirited Away, the Studio Ghibli movie.
So I used to watch it with my sister all the time. I love that movie.
That was my first ever Studio Ghibli movie that I watched, and ever since then I've been obsessed with all of their movies. And then I also have Uncut Gems on here.
That's another one that we still have talking about forever.
I want to sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's actually good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It's that movie that finally gives you that, wow, Adam Sandler isn't just a dumb comedy actor, which I love Adam Sandler, but yeah, I'm sure he can even like agree. Like, yeah, I do dumb comedies. Like that's my thing. I like it. Uncut Gems takes it to a whole new level, and it's so cool to see him really just get out of his comfort zone. But he nails it. Like, if you told me, like, if that's the only movies he's going to do from now on, I'm cool with it. He kills it. Madness and I watched it, I think, twice in 24 hours because it was just that good.
Yeah, we watched it. I think it might have been, like, over the weekend or something. We just sat down and we couldn't get enough of it. We watched it twice.
Yeah.
Gotta watch it. Then I hear the last 15 minutes are just, like...
It's insane. Literally, like, the... exact definition of like at the edge of your seat.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so cool. I definitely recommend it for anyone who hasn't seen it, and please, the two of you, check it out when you can. You know, maybe we'll just force you to watch it and we'll do a review soon of it if you still
so
haven't
good.
seen it.
If you do, you have to do a watch party because I want to watch it again.
Oh, for sure.
Totally fair.
For sure.
So, we got the introductions out of the way, of course. We do have Sahara here again.
Sahara's here, too.
Yeah.
You've all
super
met
excited.
Sahara. She was
It's me.
the Mummy review. Knocks it out of the park.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
awesome.
You know that.
No,
I was sad.
you were not the review, but she was there at the review. And so she's back. If you don't remember her favorite movies, they're on the Mummy review.
Yeah,
They're
and honestly, hey, I think we have to give it to Sahara here. She's the whole reason that episode blew up. Still our biggest episode, 848 views. So, thank you, Sahara. If it wasn't for you, we'd still be cruising at a single-digit reviews. So,
No, the one before was good too, though.
Yeah, that's true. I've forgotten actors and
I
actresses.
think it's Brendan Fraser. Everyone just loves him. We
Yeah.
want more.
Exactly.
This is where we'll find out if it was her or if it was Brendan Fraser. That's
I'm
the-
pretty sure famous actor Brendan Fraser is a little more likely than me, but like
A word got out that you were in the episode, and everyone just
everyone was like,
flocked
"Oh
to
yeah,
go watch it.
Sahara, gotta
nice.
see it."
So it's super exciting. We got some fun stuff to talk about today. We're talking rom-coms, and of course, with Valentine's Day coming up real soon, today we are going to be talking our 3 favorite rom-coms with the, of course, honorable mention if we have one, and we'll be doing a rom-com review. We'll announce that a little bit later in the show today, just to kind of talk about it, and we'll bring it up when that movie pops up today. But Alex, Sahara, if the two of you would like to take it away.
Sweet.
You want to take the lead or you want me to give mine? Okay. So I have one honorable mention, and then I also want to say that my list is not in order because I couldn't do that to myself. My honorable mention is Groundhog Day, and it's only an honorable mention because I wasn't sure if that was technically a rom-com.
It's a rom-com.
That's what I was thinking. I figured I'd play it safe and just keep it an honorable mention. Plus, I had 4 that I really couldn't decide between. So I kind of picked which ones are like the plot relies solely, maybe not solely, but heavily on the romance element. And Groundhog Day of the 4 seemed like the least focused on just the romance part. That's my honorable mention. I also want to give a shout out to 500 Days of Summer, our buddy Nick. That's one of his favorites, and he got me to watch it. It was really funny, so thanks, Mitt. But I'll start off with the first one on my list being As Good as It Gets. This one was like weird for me because I've always liked it, and I always liked when I watched it, but it's that movie that I forget about, and then I see it on a list somewhere, or I'll see it on a streaming service somewhere, and I'm like, oh god, this movie's amazing. And I don't even remember the first time I watched it, but I was just like, huh, that was a good movie. And then every time I've watched it since, I'm just like, man, this is a really good movie. And it's not just like a happy cheese fest, which like no shade, because that's what a lot of these movies are. And that's a lot of them are great because they're just happy cheese fests. But it like feels real and it's kind of dark. And I don't know why, but for some reason, a movie that just kind of has, even for a moment, just like very cold indifference just kind of grabs me because I'm like, yeah, because that's just like what the world is sometimes. Sometimes stuff just doesn't go your way. But like, there can be other things that are nice as well. I feel like that movie kind of really like nails that. Like, some things suck and then they just suck. But then while that sucks, there can also be other like really nice things that happen. Plus, it's not like a traditional just like, these two like each other, but they don't know it yet.
Well, they hate each
now
other.
They like each other. Oh, right, sorry.
Each other. We love each other.
Right. And I have a feeling we're gonna have like 10 more of those on this list that are just like that. But again, no shade, because sometimes those are great, and even if they're not great, they're fun to watch. But I really like that one for being a little bit of a change of pace for me. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not.
I have not myself, sadly.
I haven't.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. I would definitely recommend it. It's a little bit older, but not in a way that not like a Brian song thing where you're like, wow, look how movies used to be.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, this is just a movie.
Yeah,
So I
it's
would
Jack
definitely see it a
Nicholson,
lot.
so I mean...
Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt,
Greg Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear, thank you. I think Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in it too for a little bit.
Yep, he is.
Yeah, he totally is.
Good
I
movie.
just forget about him.
Okay. I think that's all I have to say about as good as it gets because I am prone.
That's
to
as good
just
as it's gonna get.
roll. Thank you. Can't do one now. What about you?
Oh, okay. Let's do one. How much should I do? I'll start out with one.
Yeah.
You guys kind of threw me actually bringing up Uncut Gems because talking about Adam Sandler being so good. I totally forgot about one of my favorite rom-coms is Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell. I don't know if you've ever seen that, and Brandon, I know you don't like Will Ferrell, but I would actually watch this movie. It's so good because he's so understated in it. I think it's his best performance. He plays like this IRS tax agent who is inadvertently the character in someone's book. And like, oh my gosh, I didn't prepare anything, so I forgot it existed, but I can't remember who the heck is in that movie.
Emma Thompson, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, Maggie
Queen
Gyllenhaal.
Latifah.
I love her. She plays like a baker who is like a big socialist and like won't pay her taxes because she hates the government. And it's like, I don't know, Will Ferrell is so understated, and it is like, it's just super clever. Like, I love rom-coms, but like when you can have a good rom-com that's also very clever, it's like my favorite thing. So maybe I had like about 1 million honorable mentions because I love rom-coms, but that I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's my only one.
Not even.
Okay, fine. I really like Overboard. The original Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. It aged really bad. Not great, but it is like the most charming thing, and you can see how much they love each other. And to this day, me and my mom and my sister quote it incessantly. So that would be my
a
other.
remake of that movie?
Yeah, they did. It wasn't good. It wasn't very good because
I didn't hear a whole lot about it, so I figured.
It's awful. Like, they're like, okay, this lady loses her memory, and then this guy tricks her into being his wife, and then they fall in love, and you're like, well, that's a crime. So he should probably go to jail. But they're so charming that you just like it.
Yeah, the original Overboard is one of my mom's favorite movies, and I remember how crushed she was.
Such a mom movie.
Yeah, how crushed she was with the new one. But yeah, some great choices so far. I might have to struggle through watching another Will Ferrell movie sometime. We'll see.
It's not man-child Will Ferrell.
That's what I can like
realize
about
what
it.
he could do if he didn't pick such ridiculous roles. Like, he's so, like, I don't know. I love
Shows his
it.
range in that for sure.
So that messed up my whole list, but I forgot about it. So it's great.
What is the first one on your actual list?
Okay, I need to focus. Probably Bridget Jones' Diary.
There you go.
It's so cliche. Renee Zellweger's in it, and Colin Firth and Hugh Grant. It was a book that I've read way too many times. I don't know, it's just really funny. It's kind of funny. In the book, they make a lot of jokes about how one of her love interests, his name is Mark Darcy. And in the book, they talk about, like, how they want him to be like Mr. Darcy in the TV movie version. And in the TV movie version of Pride and Prejudice, he's played by,
Isn't it Colin Firth?
Yeah, and then Colin Firth plays Mark Darcy in the movie. Like, he plays her love interest. I don't know. I think it's funny. But it's super cliche. And, Moaning Myrtle's in it from Harry Potter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, fun fact. But, yeah, I love it. It's like, super, like, just kind of a boring romantic comedy. But it's one of my favorites.
Not bad at all. Madison, if you want to go ahead and take it away, if you want to give us an honorable mention, and then one movie off of your list as well.
Okay. My honorable mention is The Proposal. I watched this movie so much as a kid with my sister, and like you said, it's one of those typical, like, they hate each other so much, they're like complete rivals, and then they fall in love with each other because they pretend to be married. It's so, and the comedy in it, like, I'm pretty sure Betty White is in it, and she is hilarious.
Oh, yes,
Love her in that movie.
Yeah.
She's like chanting around the fire.
Yes, oh my god. That scene is like such an instant classic to me. It's so good. And then number 1 on my list is About Time. I don't know if any of you have seen this.
No, but I love both of those people so much in it.
I know, that's originally why I watched it, because is his name pronounced Domhnall Gleeson?
Sounds good.
pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. It's one of those weird names, but he was in Ex Machina, which I really love. So I saw him in this, and it's like one of those movies that just gives me like such a warm feeling. Like it's so cute. Basically, is like discovers that he can travel in time to certain points in his life. So it's all about him trying to like make things perfect with this girl that he really likes, and tries to redo a bunch of things to just seal the deal perfectly. It's really cute.
That's awesome. I want to watch that one really bad. It's always been on my like list of ones I want to see. So now I gotta see it.
So good.
I just feel so bad because, like, I know when Madison first brought it up that I just don't watch rom-coms with her, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know any of these movies yet so far. And again,
Exactly.
just like every other show with Alex, every other show we've ever done, we see Alex's list, and it's these great, everyone agrees, classic movies. And then you see my list, because my honorable mention is Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
That movie's so good though.
There you go.
It's a
Classic.
but it's that borderline of like you guys have these like really, I don't know. I'm just trying to think like everyone can enjoy and watch movies, and I have these really ridiculous movies on mine at times. Forgetting Sarah Marshall isn't that bad on here, but I just love everything about that movie. I need to look up the cast real quick for us because I never cared for the actor too much, but Russell Brand in this movie I thought was hilarious, even though kind of in everything else I've just never been a huge fan. And then of course you have Mila Kunis, Jason Segel, Paul Rudd, Kristen Bell. It's like that great comedy cast of like the late 2000s, early 2010s, and it's just all put together so well. And of course it's that just I guess it starts off with the guy who just loses the girl, but then has the love-hate with the new girl he finds. I don't know, it just works out so well, and I just love Mila Kunis. So she's really funny in it, but that's my first one for my honorable mentions. I really wanted to put her in my honorable mentions, but it doesn't feel like a rom-com. I don't know if you two have seen it all, but it's in rom-com. Yeah, it's in rom-com lists. But there's maybe a one-liner or two in the whole movie, and it just feels like a drama. It's a great movie. Everyone should definitely check it out when you can. Madison is the one that had me watch it. I'm really glad we did.
So good.
But the first movie to kind of wrap back into me again, Employee of the Month with Dane Cook.
Oh my god.
It's so fun.
It's such a bad movie, but like Alex just said, it is fun. It's a great rom-com. It's that typical, like, the guy chasing to get the girl. He's got nothing going on for him in life. He's just kind of a low-life loser, and he finally gets his life together for the girl. And it's
a great hero to have.
It's so much fun. And I was just talking to Madison about Dane Cook the other day about how he's kind of just disappeared from everything, from comedy, and I want him to come back. But I feel like all these actors just kind of fell off the face of the earth with this movie. Andy Dick, Jessica Simpson, Dax Shepard, they all had a little bit of a career after this, but it seems like they all kind of just withered away.
Yeah, they've definitely never. They're not in anything recent, for sure, that I know of.
Yeah. So, again, one of those just crappy movies, but it's so much fun. It's so funny. Dane Cook he can't act, but he's just some funny lines in the movie.
So hard. No.
Yeah, he does. He
His
tries really
is just
hard.
him.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's like, Alex, I keep bringing it up, but there's a movie he was just in.
Like, 94%er? Yeah.
In 2019, he was just in the movie, and apparently it's incredible. There was a moment in one of our old shows, probably one of my favorite moments of any of our episodes so far. Dane Cook has been in a bunch of movies that are just 5, 10, 20, 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. But this movie is just a 94% for some reason, and I had Alex guess what it would be, and it came out to be a 94%. And it's a great movie, and I want to see it, but back to it, Employee of the Month. Super fun movie. Really love it. We'll go ahead and send it back over to Alex and Sahara to talk about their next movies on their list.
Okay, so this next one, it just wouldn't feel right to not have it on the list just based on how many times I've seen this movie, and it's Hitch. It just gets me.
Yes.
It's so funny. everyone in this movie is so perfect. It's really dumb, and it's really kind of out there. Like, how you making this much money just being this guy? But you don't question it because you don't care, because who cares? But it's so funny. And it's so shouldn't be, but it just is. It gets me every single time. It's one of those movies that you just like, I cannot believe I like this movie as much as I do, but I do, and there's no hiding it. I love Hitch, and it's so dumb, but I love it so much.
Because both the main, like Eva Mendes and Will Smith, are so charming. Like, that's what makes a good romantic comedy. Like, it almost doesn't really matter, but like if the two main characters are charming enough and you have enough fun, you're like, this is a crap movie, but I'm having so much fun that I want to watch like a million times.
Also, Kevin James dancing to Usher. I mean,
oh my god, and Amber
God,
Valetti, right? Valletta? What's?
I don't remember.
No, and then Allegra Cole. I only know because she sounds like it. That's her. Well, her real name is Amber, but in the movie it's Allegra. She's fun too. It's a good movie. Yeah, I don't know. You just like them.
That's
That's how you Dan.
That is. How do you think I learned? I watched that movie so much.
she's one of those
that movie.
actors that also kind of just disappeared, and it makes me sad because she actually was a really good actor. From, let's see, on here for Hitch, the other guys. I mean, she really did well in a lot of movies, but she hasn't been in anything since 2014. And it's kind of sad to see some actors like that who just really should have kept acting, but just kind of fell off from there. But what's that?
I think didn't she do it on purpose though? I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I think she got like something where she she just like got sick of it and like wanted to just like hang out with her kids.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Plus,
yeah,
like,
she's
married to Ryan Gosling, so like,
yeah.
go you. You don't need
Yeah.
to work again.
What I can see here, yeah, she stopped acting so she could take care of her daughters. So understandable. It totally makes sense. She fell off for a good reason. She made the choice too. Not that she couldn't get acting jobs anymore, but it is sad seeing actors who were great walk away.
Oh, okay.
So, Alex.
Yeah, she's really awesome.
Oh.
Okay, let me see. My
sorry,
other
yeah.
one is My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I don't know if any of you seen that one. That's another one. It's funny, now that I'm listing all these, I realize all my favorites are just like ones that I watched with my mom and my sister. Like, it's like they created such like a great memory that maybe the movie isn't even that good, but to this day I get so excited watching it. I don't know, it's kind of like, I don't think it's an indie movie now, but I know when it got released, there's like not really any stars in it or anything, but it's about like this lady she's like super Greek and she lives with her family and her family is like very Greek, and she just like works at the diner and like doesn't really date, and then she meets this guy when she's working in a travel agency, and he's a white dude. They describe him as, what do they call him? Oh, white toast. He's just toast, dry, and it's literally just like
Toast and butter.
yeah, it's like a culture clash. Like, it's so funny. Like, her Greek dad like sprays Windex on every injury because he thinks it's gonna like cure everything. Like, it's all her extended family, and it's like this huge wedding, and it's so ridiculous. But yeah, it's also super quotable. So I really recommend it. It's so funny. You still haven't seen it, so
No, I'm
but
sorry.
yeah, that's my second one. I love that movie.
Hell yeah, very nice choice. I remember seeing this back when I was probably like 7, 8 years old. I don't know why. I think it was my uncle. He loved this movie, or just someone in that part of the family. It was always on, like I just remember it always being on for some reason. But I think my mom and dad loved it for a long time as well. I just sadly don't remember anything with this movie. It came out back in 2002, and yeah, independent romantic comedy. But it's cool to see some more independent films just kind of get to blow up. And I know this is definitely one of those just cult following movies. I hear about it all the time.
Yeah, they made a newer one. I never saw it though because I like love the original so much. I was like, what if they ruin it?
What if they overboard?
Like they did with
What if they overboard it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, yeah, totally understandable. And Madison, if you're ready to go and move on to your next one.
Well, I know we were talking about Adam Sandler. We're gonna throw another Adam Sandler movie in, 50 First Dates. This is like, when I think of rom-com, I think of 50 First Dates. Always. I've seen that movie so many times, and
Same.
every single time I end up laughing at some part of it. It's a different part every time. It's like, that part just holds such a special spot in my heart. I love it so much.
It is.
I love that movie. I used to watch that movie all the time too when I was younger. It's like one of those like rotating movies that I was like, well, I don't know why I watched it so much, but it always makes me so happy.
It's also one of those movies that was like always on. Like if you had
Yeah.
any sort of movie channel, that was going to be on, or even like TBS, it would just be on. So if you just got home from school one day and you were just like, I don't know what's on, and I'm like, yeah, it's an Adam Sandler movie, whatever. I've seen it like 10 times. It's 51st Dates. It's funny. It's cute. Who cares? And then you just put it on, and then you're like, oh wait, I like this movie.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore.
And then you accidentally get invested in it.
Yeah, then you watch the whole thing and you're like, I was like doing this thing. Like, all fast in here.
Just kind of blacked out.
It's one of those Adam Sandler movies that has just the perfect blend of comedy and something else. And this one, of course, is romance. But so many of the movies, as we've talked about, I love Adam Sandler, but a lot of them are just too stupid. But I still love them. I still love them because they're too stupid. This one doesn't feel like a normal Adam Sandler movie. It was kind of that point to me where he kind of started shifting from just the I am dumb, I make loud noises comedy into kind of almost like, I kind of want to say like family comedy. It is just done. Yeah, heartwarming. Thank you. Heartwarming comedy. And it's done so well in 51st Dates. It was so hard for me not to put it on my list. But I kind of just had to like keep up with I like stupid movies and just keep putting them on here. So I thank you so much for anyone having 51st Dates in consideration for it. And again, also anyone watching this right now, feel free to leave in the comments. Let us know what your favorite rom-coms are. If you want to give us 1, 2, 3. Yeah, exactly. So Alex's mom.
Like 40?
Alex's mom
needs to know.
So Alex's mom, when you're watching this right now, love you so much.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Let us know all your favorite. If it's 1, 2, 3, 50. Just put them in there. We'll definitely go ahead and read through them. So thank you so much. But yeah, great choices so far. The next one I'm going to throw on here is, I'm going to do this one. I'll do this one next because I'll let Madison announce our favorite other one on here because we have one of the same.
You're the same one.
Yeah, but Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It was another one of those kind of like borderline, like it's a rom-com in a sense, but it's kind of in that world of Employee of the Month, like guy trying to get girl movie. And it's just so enjoyable because I love Michael Cera so much because he's so dorky and just that monotone, quiet voice. I just love everything about him. And he does so good in this movie, I think. And there's just so many different layers to it that I love because it has the rom-com, has the boy chasing the girl, has the nerdy pop culture stuff, and then it has this video game background to the whole movie. And it's one of probably like my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Alex, when we were making our list before, it was on my list of like, I have to just kick this one out, I guess, for my top 5 favorite movies, but easily Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Like I said, Brandon doesn't like rom-coms. He likes superheroes that just so happen to fall in love.
So true.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's technically not a comic book movie, but only because it's a graphic novel movie. So yeah, big stretch there, Brando.
I know. It says action romance, and when I typed in best rom-coms, this actually showed up on a lot of different like top 10 lists. So I was like, yes. So definitely had to throw it in there. But yeah, that'll be my last one that I announced because I'll go ahead and let Madison announce our last one at the end. But Sahara, Alex, take it away for your last ones as well.
My last one is, I mean, it is a rom-com. It's kind of like in a little fantasy-esque sort of thing. It was also on my top 5 favorite movies, so I don't know if this is a big surprise, but it's The Princess Bride. I friggin' love that movie. I could watch it so many times in a row. The what?
I've never seen The Princess Bride.
Oh, it's so good.
I've literally only ever heard good things. I need to watch it.
That's all there is to say about it. It's so good, and it like perfectly toes the line between like satirical and then like sincere. So it's not like I can't even remember the word that you told me about earlier when we were talking about other movies. That it's not satire, it's not a parody because it's like not making fun of it.
It's celebrating it.
Yeah. And so it's so ridiculous, and it like tries as hard as it can to hit all of those stupid tropes, but it does it so beautifully with such a welcome amount of self-awareness, and it's also just hilarious. So I just love this movie. There's a reason why it was in the top 5 of my all-time movies, so of course it's going to be in my list of rom-coms. I just have nothing but good things to say about it. So good. And like you were saying with some of the other ones, it's just like infinitely quotable.
Yeah,
Just
100%.
the whole movie itself, like you can start beginning to end, and I think everyone will have at one point heard something from there because everyone just quotes it all the time.
Plus, it's like so cozy. Like there are certain movies I always like describe them as movies that you'd want to watch when you're sick.
Oh yeah.
Because they're just like heartwarming and cozy, like that, or I don't know. I always think like the Goonies, or I don't know, just movies that are just like super cozy. And Princess Bride, like it always just makes you feel good.
I love that.
Just like it.
That's so true.
So just two quick things about that movie real quick. One's just a weird side note. I'm looking through the images of the movie. I don't know why, but the main guy just looks like PewDiePie so much to me. I just need to throw that out there real quick. In some of the shots, I'm like, no, it's not PewDiePie. But
they need to make a reboot with PewDiePie in it.
yes,
Oh
please.
my god.
There's been a lot of talks that this movie might get a reboot eventually, and I hope for the sake of the fans it doesn't, because they like to always ruin remakes. But Alex, I just need to say, we need to either watch this, because your birthday is in August, so let's do it for like the watch-a-thon in August if we somehow haven't watched it by then for a review. But let's make it a point to watch this eventually for one of our reviews or watch-a-thons. This was one of those other movies that was always on at my uncle's house, so I remember bits and pieces. I probably haven't seen it like sitting down all the way through since like I was 5 years old, 5 to 7, somewhere in there. So I definitely need a refresher. But yes, please, let's just mark that down eventually. Let's go back.
For sure. It's so good. I mean, if we were ever going to have a show where we just talked about perfect scenes, which I would love to do at some point, just like, could be from a crap movie, great movie, whatever, just like a perfect scene or perfect dialogue, whatever. The sword fighting scene that they have is just perfect. Like, it could not be better. And whatever, like, you could give any director, any writer, all liberties to try to make that scene better, and they just couldn't. In my mind, I love that scene, and I love that movie so much.
Well, you got to read that book. Oh my gosh, Wesley, who's that actor's name?
Carey Ellis.
He wrote a book about the making of Princess Bride, and it's really, really good. And I feel like I keep bringing up books, but yeah, you should. Well, if you guys, I do like reading a lot, but if you guys do it, you should read the book or something because it's so interesting. It goes like in the behind the scenes of it all, and like.
I only remember the Andre the Giant fart story.
Oh yeah, well that's fart story.
I've never met anyone who didn't like The Princess Bride. It's one of those movies that like I feel like every single person loves it.
It's so good.
You know what's fun fact though? Except my sister. She hates that movie because she has the worst taste in movies ever. Sorry, Rain. She doesn't watch this, so it's fine.
Disappointing. She doesn't watch this thing. Double disappointing.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll tell her.
What's your top one? Maybe not top, but just the next
one. Is Down with Love. It has Renee Zellweger in it again and Ewan McGregor. And then also, who else? Sarah Paulson, and then I don't know his name, but Frasier's brother. I don't what's his name? I don't know, the guy who Frasier's brother from Frasier. But it's like the best movie. It's a remake-ish of like 1960s romantic comedies. So it's like hyper stylized and it's like set in the 60s and it's like super like clever and funny and like kind of absurdist, like slapsticky humor. And I don't know, it's super weird and like it has about 1 million plot holes, but it's so charming. There's like a musical number at the end with Renee Zellweger and Ewan McGregor that literally only exists because they were both in musicals and they're like, hey, do you want to do a musical number? And they're like, yeah, that sounds sweet. So it's kind of a weird movie, but it's just, I think my favorite romantic comedies are either like super heartwarming or like very clever. Because like romantic comedies I think sometimes are just like dumb. But I like it that they're dumb. But that movie's really clever. So I remember I had it on DVD, and I used to watch it on like my TV that was like this big in my room when I was like in middle school.
One that was like VCR here, DVD there.
Yeah,
it's great TV.
It's my favorite thing. So yeah, that one's mine.
Love it.
I don't know why I didn't even realize. I love Moulin Rouge. I didn't even think in my head that it's a romantic comedy. Technically, it is.
Yeah, it is, right? I know. I always forget that too, but. Yeah, so, I don't know, it's really good. If you like Ewan McGregor, he has his actual accent in it, so 10 out of 10.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it really doesn't.
I just want to watch this now just because Ian McGregor's in it. Like, as Alex has said, he can... I feel like you've said it that he can't do anything wrong, but maybe I'm just...
Yeah, he can do no wrong.
Yeah. So...
Delightful. It's very, very charming.
I mean, he made The Men Who Stare at Goats amazing, and that movie should have sucked in every way. And it just didn't because he was in it.
Yeah,
and it was amazing. He can do no wrong.
And Renee Zellweger, I think, is also like...
Yeah.
I'm happy she finally like won an Oscar because she was like very talented, and I think she went through a phase where she was just making like no movies and like no one really cared about her anymore. She kind of like dropped off the face of the earth, and then she like won an Oscar. So I really like her. She's so
I'm
fun.
back, baby.
Yeah. At like 55, I don't know how old she is. I think she's in her 50s now.
Well, thank you both for the amazing list. I do appreciate it. Let's see, I've heard 8 new movies now in my life. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
But Madison, if you want to go and announce both of our our favorite movies on our list.
Yeah, I'll just knock this one out for both of us.
Thank you.
Palm Springs with Andy Samberg. Oh my god, it's I went into it blind. I didn't even know what it was about. I saw it on Hulu. I was like, this looks like it might be good. It was incredible. It surpassed every expectation I could have had about it. It just... Another, like, time travel rom-com one. So good.
Yeah, no, I was really excited to see it, too, because I was like, I love, like, sci-fi stuff. I mean, everyone here probably does. But, yeah, it's, like, it was so much better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be kind of silly, but I was like, this is, like, amazing. And, like, every actor in it is so good, and it's, like you were saying, it's dark, kind of.
Yeah, it has, like, a cold indifference to it. But, like,
that's a great
optimistic way.
That movie's awesome.
Talk about clever, too.
So clever.
Yeah. Oh my... I could go on forever about that movie. All of the twists and turns it takes that... Oh, I'm really glad that I went into it blind.
Yeah.
Made for a very interesting movie experience.
Yeah, that's definitely a movie that's fun if you have no idea what's going on, because you can't predict it.
No, let it catch you off guard and be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, I love this. It's so good.
So, Andy Samberg is another one of those actors who, if he's in it, I'm going to see it. I love him. I've been a huge Lonely Island fan since the early 2000s. It's been a great time. He's a lot of fun, but he's clever too. He's kind of reminds me, and not just because he was in That's My Boy, but he reminds me a little bit of Adam Sandler, because he has that stupid humor, but he knows how to reel it back really well. Just like in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He can be a little absurd at times, but clever too. So, really love him a lot. I'm glad I gave this movie a shot as well. As soon as it came out, I was like, oh, Andy Samberg, yep, gonna watch it. I even threw it on the other day with Madison. I was like, it was 1:30 in the morning, I threw it on, and then I noticed it was 3:20 in the morning, and it was wrapping up in the credits. So, this movie comes on, I just love it so much, but I am also excited for us to get to announce that this is going to be our review this week. Thought it'd be kind of fun for us to get to talk about a little bit more, go into how wonderful Andy Samberg is. But yeah, I think that kind of wraps everything up. Does anyone else have anything else to kind of bring up with their list, or anything else we may have missed?
We love rom-coms. Is there anyone you want to feel like you can give a little love to?
Oh, I have one more recommendation for a new one. There's one on Netflix called Set It Up. It's like, it's totally cliche, it's like nothing really special about it, but it's done very, very well. I think it's like one of the better modern romantic comedy that like stays true to kind of just like the old school romantic comedies, like the early 2000s. So that would be my one for a new one. That movie's really good.
Yeah, you introduced that
That's
to me.
That's the era of rom-coms that I have such fond memories.
Same, it's like all of them. Yeah, early 2000s, and like it kind of like, and then like I feel like all kind of dropped off, and they weren't that. I don't know. I feel like there wasn't anything good, but I feel like lately I've noticed like more and more being released, and they're so, I don't know, they've gotten so much better, and like they're kind of just
been like a resurgence now.
Yeah. So Palm Springs is probably one of like you guys are the best ones. So it's super fun to see kind of like them transform. So yeah, that's a kind of a cool one that kind of plays like homage, I guess, to like the kind of cheesy old early 2000s one. So
We could have talked about it with Sports Ball Week too, because it's a baseball movie, kinda ish.
yeah, it's kind of.
It's not, but baseball's in it. I remember there was like the one scene that I was just like, this is weird. They were at a baseball game, and I was like, oh, yeah, baseball. And then you were like, it's a really good movie, and then also baseball. And I was like, I'm in.
That's how you get your boyfriend to watch it. There's baseball in it, no?
Yeah, or just whatever. We have a list of so many movies we have to watch. But there was one where they had they were introducing one of the players, and I was like, that's a very specific player to pick because he's only been on this team for like 2 years, and he's probably not going to be. This is like a very interesting way to date yourself movie, and it was like the Yankees. You could have just picked like so many players.
I don't know anybody who's on the Yankees, so they could have picked a random name and I've been like, yep, that guy.
What's that one Adam Sandler movie where he is a huge baseball fan? And what is it? I think it's with Drew Barrymore again. And he has like season tickets to...
Is it not Fever Pitch?
Is it Fever Pitch?
I don't know. Is Adam Sandler in Fever Pitch? Maybe that's just Drew Barrymore. Maybe I'm getting confused.
Gotta get the duplicates. Where's Brandon with the Adam Sandler knowledge?
Yep. I looked up Adam Sandler baseball movie and I got bench warmers. But I don't think that's what you're talking about.
Maybe I'm remembering it wrong and it's not. I remember it being Adam Sandler, but maybe it's not.
Yeah, but I say Fever Pitch. What, Jimmy Fallon? Yeah.
Is Drew Barrymore in Fever Pitch? Did I just make that up?
I have no idea.
Drew Barrymore is in Fever Pitch, yeah. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, maybe that's why I thought it was Adam Sandler. Because I always just
he's always with Drew Barrymore.
I know.
Like that's their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all the way down to like the cobbler, and I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, so I think we can stop right there with that.
Chuck and that one.
That movie sucked. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about rom-coms. Movies that make you feel good and happy and love.
And love.
Valentine's Day.
Because Valentine's Day. Yeah, that's this weekend.
Yeah. It's coming up this weekend real soon, and it was a fun time with this episode today talking about our favorite rom-coms. We do have the review coming up that drops Saturday, the day before Valentine's Day for Palm Springs. But before we wrap it up, Alex, you know what time it is.
Time to tell people where they can... What? It's time to tell people they can find us.
Good job.
Sahara, I'm put you on the spot. I'm kidding.
I don't know where they can find us.
The fear I can see.
At thenerdchambers.com. That's the logo for it right there. You can also buy shirts with the logo on it, also at the Nerd Chambers. Brandon's rocking the DNC Penguin, because of course he is. Why would you not? With the
logo.
All goes full circle. That's one of those really long segues that we've been talking about for like 3 weeks now. Yeah. But thenerdchambers.com, that's where you can find us, TNC Movie Nights. That's where you can find everybody under the Nerd Chambers umbrella. We have so many different shows right now, and everyone is just really working really hard. And so if you're gonna check us out, awesome, thanks. If not, definitely check them out because they're killing it too. You can meet the team, all that good stuff. Super fun. On all the socials, we're just TNC Movie Nights. If you're watching us, you're on YouTube. If you're listening to us, you're on wherever you listen to podcasts. Brandon, I think I nailed it.
I couldn't have asked for any better. That was perfect.
You're gonna have to do the points though, because I don't know where your screens are.
Yes, no worries. Madison, Alex, Sahara, that was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for coming on. It was a great time, and we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow, but we'll see you Saturday for the review of Palm Springs. Bye, everybody.